GM Sprinkles here with another video. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing the actual creation process of a character. Now I do know that I did say last week that I was going to turn characters that you guys suggested into Cypher characters. However, I did want a few more ideas before I went ahead with this. So if you could put some more ideas in the comments below, I would like to do that for next week or the week after, depending on how many I get. Just because I want a wide range of them. Alright, so today we are doing something slightly different. I'm going to be making a character from scratch. So we're going to do it from the idea, the personality, and then actually making it. So when I start a new character and I've got no idea in my head, I'll usually either do one of two things. I'll either go straight to Pinterest or go straight to the Cypher book and read through some of the abilities, some of the focuses, and decide on something around one of those abilities. Today though, I'm feeling like something more visual, so we're going to go straight to Pinterest today and we're going to look over my Pinterest and we're going to find some ideas for a character. Alright, here we go. Alright, let's just refresh that. Alright, so we've got lots of things here to choose from. I'm going to see what I can find. Alright, so I like this. I do really like this. I like this winged figure. I'm not really sure what I'll do with it for a character, so we're going to keep looking and see what else inspires me. Okay, I do like these ones here. So this one here, this here reminds me of Hera with the peacock, like the Greek god, and I really like that look. Let's have a look. Got a look at Artemis here. Alright, I am liking this feel. Oh, this Athena's nice. I like the idea of the spear and shield. Let's have a look. Let's see what else we get. Alright, got an Ares kind of figure. Okay. Alright. What I think I'll do now is we're going to look at some spears. See what we can come up with. Alright. I do like this partisan spear. It does have obviously the benefit of being a piercing, a slashing weapon, which I really like. Really good, and being a spear, you have a advantage because you have reach, and I really like that in the aspect of character. So I'm looking for something more warrior, maybe explorer based here, or maybe not. I don't know. I haven't really worked that. I suppose it could still wield a weapon. Depending on the length, it's probably going to be a 1 to 2 handed weapon, so it's going to be a medium or a heavy weapon, I think. But yes, okay, I like this. I'm going to add this here to a new board. Just going to call a new character. Alright. See what else comes up here. Okay. No, I think I'm pretty happy with this sword design here. I like it. It doesn't really have the wide flanges, but that's okay. And I think I'm going to do something similar to this. So looking for a spear wielding character. And obviously the most common combo with a spear in history is the spear and shield, so we're going to look at shields next. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the kite shield, so I'm probably not going to pick a kite shield. Probably going to pick something like this. Let's put that in there. Ooh, I like these little gaps here where you can put your spear as well, which is actually going to be quite fitting for this character that we're making. Anything else we like? Oh, I like these. This looks like it's from Dark Souls by the name here. I do like the pattern there. It's very Viking-esque, so we're gonna grab that one there as well. So as I am a bit of a history nerd, I really do like making things as history accurate as possible. Obviously I'm going to take some liberties here and there, and I'm not an expert. But if we are using a shield and a spear, the problems with the spear, when they get really close, you can't use a spear. So we're going to look at some swords now. We're going to look at different sword designs. And I don't want just a boring classic sword because we've seen those, so I want to look at something a bit more special. So we're going to look at fantasy swords. I like this. It's a little bit strange, not really going for the aesthetic I like, but I do like it. I'm going to add it to the list as well, the board. Alright, let's see what else we find. I do like this shape, so I'm going to add that one there too as well. Oh, I like this dagger here. I like that fancy dagger. Let's add that. Well, I could really get lost here for ages looking at swords. Let's have a look. Let's go. You know, history is a really fun thing, and I'm a big fan of it, but I think we can learn a lot. I always use a lot of history in my game, so it is something that I always look through. Alright, look, I think we've got enough swords anyway. I might just add 1 or 2 more. We'll just might add this here as a dagger or something. I do like the look of this. Bit of a strange hilt. The main weapon is going to be spear unless they get in close combat, so I'm going to go spear warrior. Okay, well this is nice because we've got the round shield for start, we've got a spear, he's got a sword off his hand, so I think that works really well. He looks like more of a spear thrower, which is not really what I'm going for, but I think we can use this as inspiration, so we're going to add this to here as well. Alright, well this looks like a classic like hoplite from Greek but fantasized, and I am a sucker for that, so we're just going to add that as well. So there's a lot here. As I've clicked on one of the hoplites, come up with a lot more. It's going to come up with a lot of Spartans mainly because of 300 and all that. Fun fact about that though, they actually didn't have Corinthian helmets. Spartans usually used a more simpler one that didn't cover much of the face, more just the head. And the Corinthian helmet is obviously this type of helmet here. I'm not sure if that's interesting or you came here for that, but there you go. Alright, I want someone who looks kind of agile as well, I think, because I've done a warrior that's very like slow and strong, so I want to go something a little bit more quick on their feet, and I like this. Their pose makes me think of agile, so I'm going to grab those. I know their Fire Emblem character, but I kind of like them, and I like the armor. It looks pretty nice, so we'll add that as well. Alright, now that I've been searching this, I'm thinking that, you know, we've got a character kind of in my head here, so it's going to be quick, it's going to be agile. They're going to use a spear and a shield, so they're going to be quite defensive. They're going to be very warrior based. I'm probably going to pick a warrior from Cypher because I want to be quick, and I think that makes the most sense because then we can start with the speed edge. So, anything else I want? I might. That's actually a very good question because this. I really like the look of this with some fire in their hand. But then they can't carry a shield if they're using that, and I really do like the shield. Alright, I think that's enough, and we'll go to the new character board now on Pinterest, and we can actually, it'll suggest things based on this, so we can actually go in here and have a bit more of a look, see if anything else tickles our fancy. Alright, I really do like the cloak. I'm a sucker for the muscled breastplate here, so I'm probably going to go for something similar like that. So I think I will do this cut out of the shield because it is something different, and I usually, we usually do see a lot of round shields in that there, and obviously like this is just a round shield, which is kind of nice. And I'm a big sucker for cloaks as well, so I'm probably going to pick a cloak, something like that as well. So we're going to add that to that there as well. All right, so I think we've got a rough idea of what I want to build. So we've got them there. We'll go back to the board here. We can have a bit of a look. We're going to grab this here, get rid of these tabs that we didn't need in the end, and I'm going to drag it over there, and we're going to put this with this here. Alright. So a couple of different character sheets we've got here. This is one of the ones that I found on the internet. It was from Longwind's fillable Cypher sheet. You basically use a new Monero sheet and made it fillable. You can just type that in and it'll go to the page that we shared it on Reddit. I recommend that there. Otherwise, I did kind of make one which was based off of the normal character sheet, but it's foldable, so it just is, 1/8 of the size of an A4, so it's about this size and just folds up. That's a lot of fun there as well. I will share that as well if you do want that. And that one kind of turns out like this if you fill in all the details, and it folds up, so this kind of becomes the front of the page. This is like and it folds, and that's the back. So it's kind of a lot of fun there if you do want the foldable, but for just simplicity's sake, we're going to just use the OG Cypher sheet. So let's bring up this here, and we're going to put that over there, and we're going to, that's that one, isn't it? Yes. So we've got our board here, and there's our sheet here. Let's get rid of that. So let's have a look through the Cypher book and we'll see what we can find. So I've already worked out that they are going to be a warrior, or maybe explorer, and I might flavor in some magic. I haven't decided yet, but we'll make that decision based on that. So with Cypher, I kind of actually start with the focuses. So let's go to the focus list and let's scroll through and let's see what we can find. Abides in Stone, not really looking for that one. Absorbs energy, battles robots. Bears a halo of fire. That could be a really cool idea, actually. It's not what I was thinking of before, but I like the idea of being able to do that. You can throw fire at people. Yeah, so you just like set yourself on fire, which is pretty cool. They don't burn you. I like the idea of that, because then when you're attacking someone with your spear, you know, I might flavor that the spear catches on fire as well for me. So therefore, that's how I would just flavor that, even though the spell says that there. If I did do that, I would need some sort of intellect points, because it is intellect based. So let's have a look. Let's go back. Well, I did do a shield, so you know, maybe have some shield based abilities like force field shield and force bash. But I kind of want a more physical shield, I think. But then again, I could summon the shield, and then they can use it as their spear as a two-handed weapon, or use magic, and when they want the shield, they can summon it. So that could also work a lot of fun as well. Interesting. We'll keep looking. Come back to that one. Not thinking divine or mental powers. Not really feeling that. Controls gravity. No. Defends the weak. Look, if we want to go like the classic Greek hero, then that might work as well, and that makes me very fights with panache. That might work as well. I really like that idea. Fancy fighter. Attack close, quick block, acrobatic attack, flamboyant boast. Look, if you're going to make that character who has witty jabs at each other, I think that there just might work quite well. If that's what I wanted to do, and I might do that yet. Alright, well, this is probably going to be pretty boring for you just to watch me read through each one of the focus. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to cut the video, I'm going to have a look through, read through some focuses, and I will come back with what I've picked. Made the decision with Bears a Halo of Fire. It was a very tough decision between that or Defends the Weak, but I did decide with Bears a Halo of Fire because I'm going to tie that with Anger. So when they get angry, they light themselves on fire with the Shroud of Flame ability. And I thought that might be a lot of fun, just to mix and match that there. So we've got that organised, and now we're going to pick a descriptor. So, looking at the descriptors, we've got Appealing, Beneficent, Brash, Calm, Chaotic, Charming. I read all these here, and I'm going to go with Brash, because they're going to be very headstrong, and they just want to rush into battle and save people. So that's what I'm going to go with here. So, now we made that decision, let's bring up the character sheet. I'm just going to use the regular one, and that means we've got a Brash warrior who bears a halo of fire, and we're going to flavor it in with magic. Okay, so let's start building the stats and everything else. Straight off the bat, we get +2 from the Brash, so we're going to add that just here, just as a reminder, and then we'll add the rest. We're also going to add our skills, so we've got initiative, so let's add that in. I've already added that here, look at that, bang, go me. Ignoring effects of fear and intimidation, we've got that there, and being a warrior, they have a Cypher limit of 2, which you can see that on the warrior page. Cypher limit of 2. Where are we at? Here we go. Yeah, 2 at one time. So I've got that written in, and then we've got the skills that we've got from. So yeah, we got that here. 2 ciphers. Awesome. We got our skills in. Now we're going to do the pulls. So straight off the bat, we get 10 might. We get 10 for speed, but we've already got +2 from that, so that makes it 12, and then we've got 8 intellect. Now we've got 6 points divvy up, because you get 6 points divvy up in Cypher. So what we're going to do here is, for this character, I want them to be quick, so we're going to add 2 points there. I want them to be able to take a hit, because they're going to be the frontline fighter, so we're going to give 2 points there. And because of their Shroud ability is an intellect cost, I'm actually going to make this 10, to begin with anyway. And then I'm going to decide whether I want to change that as we go along. So at later levels, it might be, oh, I barely use the Shroud ability, I only do it when I get angry, which is not very often. So I might not put many intellect points in the future, or I might be, I'm doing it all the time. So I'll boost it up as we decide. At tier 1, we only get 1 level of effort, and we've got no XP, so I'm just going to leave that blank. Now for the edge, I'm going to go speed, because they're going to be mainly attacking with their spear. So I want that to be an edge there with their speed, so they can put extra effort into hit, or extra effort into do extra damage. And I'm going to give them mainly speed-based abilities from the warrior class. So now we've got the most of the stats done. What I'm going to do now is we're going to grab the nitty-gritty details of the Shroud ability on page 64. So let's go down here, Shroud of Flame. So we're in Shroud of Flame. We've got it all organized. It costs 1 intellect point, which isn't that many, so we can do that basically 10 times without any recovery rolls. So that's good to know. Let's just make that bold if we can, but we can't, so that's fine. Alright, we'll leave that there. Shroud of Flame. What I will do when this in the character sheet is when this gets very big, I will just put a page number there to index it if I need to remember any of the more details, or I'll sometimes just write the little nitty-gritty details, so I'll shorten it. Done. So we'll just shorten that down a bit. Now we can go and pick some of the warrior abilities that we want. Actually, before we do that, let's go and have a look at the magic flavoring. So let's have a look here. Alright, Blessing of the Gods. This is very on point if we wanted a ability based on a god, if this is where it comes from. If we're doing like a Greek themed or like some kind of mythology campaign where all your magic and stuff comes from the gods, we might pick one of these. And I'm going to probably pick one here as well. Alright, War. They're going to be very frontliney, so they're going to be like a war and fire sort of deal here. So, you know, if we're doing a Greek theme, you're probably going to be following the god of war and the god of fire or the sun. Cool. So we've got one of the magic flavoring abilities. Closed Mind. Not a bad idea, but I think having them a weakness to intellect attacks is a good idea. Feels very rounded to the character. Entangling Force, tangling them up. So we could, we could flavor that as fire. Not really on the character's point very much. I think that's really doesn't really suit the character. Magic training, perhaps. Mental Link, not really on point. Premonition though, alright, yes. So you could do Premonition that you're going to ask your god that has bestowed these powers on you a question, which you could ask the GM about this one creature that you're encountering. So that might be fun, and it might work with the character. I'm not going to pick it unless I need one more ability, because I reckon I'm going to pick the other 3 abilities I pick is going to be from Warrior. Okay, so the ability that I'm not going to take is Bash. I'm going to replace Bash with Blessing of the Gods. That's what I've done there with the warrior. Alright, let's have a look here. Combat prowess does an extra damage. I think that's perfect. +1 damage. I'm just going to put that down here. Let's zoom in a little bit here because I can't read anything on this sheet because I don't have a big enough screen. Alright, so it's going to be a medium weapon, but it's going to be +1. So it's going to do 5 damage because of our combat prowess ability. And I'm just going to write combat prowess because I know what that does. Got that there. Now we've got to pick some more abilities. Control the field. It's good, but it's a bit might based. I don't really want that. Improved ed. Now that might help us because we're going to be using intellect as our shroud ability. So if we put an edge on that, that means we can use that ability and the war ability for free, and then it only costs 1 point when we do the sun and light and fire ability. So that might work as well, but we're going to keep looking. No need for weapons, perhaps, but I want to use a spear. Physical skills. Practiced in armor. I do want armor for this character eventually, so we're probably going to take practice in armor. Yeah, so the speed cost goes. So we're going to start with some medium armor, I think, which has a cost of 2. We're going to reduce it to a cost of 1. So we're going to start with medium armor. I'm sure that I can afford that with the skills that we start with. If not, obviously we'll do a light armor. That would work as well. We've got 2 abilities picked. We've got 1 more to pick from. Don't want training without armor because I don't think that really suits. So it's basically the same as Bash except for its speed base. So I might take. Alright, so we're going to put that trained with armor, practice in armor on the sheet as well, just so we know that's another ability that we've picked. We've got that. Now we want to pick whether we want physical skills or the edge. For this here, I'm going to give it to the intellect edge here. So it's going to give us that little bit of extra edge. It's going to work. I think it's going to be good, just so we can use that shroud ability where it won't cost anything. But actually, no, I've changed my mind. We're going to pick something. Swipe is a really cool ability, and I've got Bash on my warrior, and I rarely use it, so I don't want to take Swipe. I don't think we want to take that. Yeah, I'm going to give it physical skills instead, because I feel like this character is going to be like, look, I'm going obviously for that ancient Greek feel, so athleticism is very important, and I think I'm going to go with that too, because I really like the idea of them really good at running. I'm going to give them running and climbing, I think. Why climbing? I don't know, it just feels like it just makes sense to me. So that's all the character pretty much done here. So now we just need to write the equipment down and stuff. which, like I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail right now with the equipment, just purely and simply because I don't know what I'm going to use this character for, and it depends on what type of equipment. So this becomes more futuristic. It's obviously going to be a spear that is going to be something else, and they might have an offhand gun instead of a dagger or something like that. So it really depends on what kind of game we're going to make. So I'm not going to put the equipment down, but something we are going to put is medium armor, and then that's it. We're done. That's really all we need to do. We can write a bit of a backstory for it. Like I said, I'm feeling very inspired by Greek mythology recently, so we're going to go with that there. And I'm basically going to say that this character was chosen by the god of sun and war, or maybe, so if we're doing Greek mythology, it's going to be, he believes heavily in Ares and Apollo, and they give him this gift of, well, Apollo gives him this gift of fire. But when he uses it, he feels this uncontrollable rage, so he tries to refrain from using it. Or they. I haven't decided whether it be he or she. They don't like to use the fire unless they really have to. And it's very important to them to protect those who can't protect themselves, because that's what heroes do. And he's not a hero in their eyes. They're not a hero in their eyes. They're just doing what is right. And that's basically the aspect of the character. When they see danger, they're going to be brash and just run in to help, because that's what they know to do, and that's what they know is best. And that's basically what the character's going to be. And we've all worked it out. We've got the stats on the sheet. We've flavored in a little bit of magic from their divine abilities, because they've been chosen by their gods, or they have favor with those gods. And that's it. We're done. And as they level up, they might go more magic, depending on the campaign, and that's really easy to do. You could really flavor that in as they've tapped into some kind of magical ability, or they might go more physical based as they're going, depending on that. So that's the character done. I need to think of a name, but that's not really important, I don't think, for this video. Let me know what you think the name should be. Put in the comments below, and I'll maybe name it that. Also, like I said earlier, come up with some cool character ideas that you want me to make, and we'll do that in the next 2 weeks, next week or the week after. Put that in the comments as well. If you did enjoy the video, please like, subscribe, and share it to your friends. If you don't have any friends, just anonymously share it across the internet. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Keep rolling those dice, but don't let them define you.